What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action spawning at the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Thor. His name is Socrates. His opponent today in the red color playing as Hades. His name is Matrius. The map is Null Shallows. And this is on the fresh Thor nerfed, the freshly nerfed Thor patch here, as we're finally seeing a Norse player scouting at the start of the game here. So, is the build dead? Is the build not dead? I'm here to tell you the build is not dead. I will try and attach a Thor build order to the end of this video that shows that you can still get yourself a 415 advance with a Dwarven Armory. Only kind of, well, the big nerf, so to speak, is that it takes one less villager. You get one less upgrade. You can't get all your upgrades in the arcade cage anymore. That being said, I was of the opinion, to some degree, that in certain matchups, versus Greek being one of them, maybe less so versus Hades, but versus Greek being one of them, that a very fast advance through Freya was a good idea with Thor. Thor could go for a 330 advance time. He could put a temple nice and far forward. He could be on your opponent's resources in the early game. Now, on Null Shallows, probably not the best idea to do that, just on the fact that you've got 3 hippopotamus that are going to be sitting underneath your town center. That's going to be impossible to, or your enemy's town center, that's going to be impossible to kill with the Valkyrie. Attacking the gold mine is not worthless, but dangerous. You can get stuck in here really badly and have a bad time of it. And the wood line here, your opponent can just move back in underneath the town center. Plus, they've got Sentinels as Hades nonetheless. So the fast advance in this specific matchup, maybe not. One idea I've had, I don't think it applies to this matchup either, and this is where I'm having a little bit of trouble with Norse in my own personal theory crafting, is you can sometimes go for a village center here with Norse. Idea being that your opponent's not going to see it. They're going to be playing nice and defensively against you because they see you building longhouse, great hall in the main base, building kind of standard units, and then you slap down that great hall at like, not that great hall, that village center at like 5:30, 6 minutes on a random town center, on a random gold mine on the map, which your opponent is almost certainly not going to be wanting to scout until like 12 minutes into the game. And by then it's paid itself off and you're in a good spot. So that's currently the cheese idea that I've got against certain matchups. But against Greek, I don't think it even works there. The problem is mostly, how do you deal with Athena? How do you deal with the Minotaur, especially the Minotaur of Hades, but Zeus's Minotaur also come out very, very quickly. So even though they've got less HP, there might be another one in the kind of game that you're going to have to deal with. Nonetheless, we're seeing Forseti coming through, which I think is arguably a mistake in this matchup. The reason it's a mistake, and the reason why, actually, let's say why it's so common for Thor to go Forseti. It's mostly legacy bias on the fact that you get Hall of Thanes. Hall of Thanes in Legacy gave you an extra HP, which made your her so much more effective. You also get Trolls, which were good against myth units. So you have this nice kind of synergy with dealing with myth units. However, you no longer get that HP from Hall of Thanes. Instead, you're getting you're getting more speed on infantry units, which aren't going to be effective at all in this matchup. What you want is the upgrade through Freya, which gives your, I can't remember what it's called. I can see it's the chair. We're not going to see it here anyways, but it gives you an extra 15% HP on your, an extra 15% HP on your heroes, which gives them that survivability that they need in the fight to be able to take down the enemy myth units. Ses Rumnir, we got it there. Ses Rumnir. And also raiding cavalry getting that Thundering Hooves upgrade, which makes them able to engage a little bit easier against the Toxite. And not only that, the Valkyrie is actually pretty useful with dealing with the Minotaur coming in much later on once you've got all those things coming through. And also when you're playing as Thor, you get this upgrade Hammer of Thunder. It's honestly not that big of an assistance. Having an extra 15% melee attack damage isn't going to matter if your Herser is just going to be getting picked off before it can really get the damage. But once you get Ses Rumnir in, then it starts being enough to actually kill stuff, as we do see the heroes slowly starting to move in to Socrates' base here. Socrates does have his armory up. He does have one armory upgrade through, but because he's advanced so late, or got the armory up so late, he's not going to be able to get those out all too easily here, though at any point here he can decide to grab them, and it will slow him down, but he will be able to pay it off, so he's got to be very, very careful here. The other thing he's doing at the moment is mostly building dwarfs, which will mean his gold mine's going to expire very quickly in this game. Lots of Hursa are being built at the moment. We are seeing raiding cavalry coming through. We are seeing throwing axemen coming through. He doesn't know what his opponent's building. He's going for Matrius is going for a stable here, making Hippias with 3 villages on the temple and Ankh-Ra. We see an archery range coming down as well as the army is going to be retreating back. That Bull Minotaur here, 180 gold, 15 favor, 17 damage. Already Bull Minotaur. Already. This thing slaps. It is very, very strong. It is probably the best way to play Greek at the moment. And it's the reason why Greek is having a lot of success at the top level, I would say. But hopefully, we're going to see a little bit of an attempt at a counter here from Socrates. He's getting his walls up. Walls, always good, but at this stage, these sorts of walls, not the best. This one over here is fantastic. This one over here is fantastic. We are seeing a little Hippias raid coming through onto these dwarves. The dwarves simply going to turn around and fight underneath the town center. They should be okay. We did see a cheeky little healing spring. One dwarf goes down for a Hippias. Is not the worst of trades, not the best of trades. A trade for both players nonetheless. But and a little bit of an equalization on the economy. But Norse is going to have the economic advantage moving forward, and that's all that matters, really. Another Minotaur joining the party. You can already see 19 favor ready for our next Minotaur as well, as the gold is coming up for Matrius to spend. You're going to be retreating back through here. And we'll see how things are going to come. We've also got that Hall of Thanes upgrade. It's coming in. Is it really? Well, he has an upgrade for it. There you go. Gambitine, Odin's Wand. I do think Sesrumnir should be in the temple, but apparently it's not in the temple, so you don't get the discount for it for some reason. Nonetheless, house getting taken out on this position here. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Bunch of Hursa coming through as he sees all of those Minotaur. You need, I would guess, my guess is roughly 3 Hursa per Minotaur. Plus, obviously, the counters to what your opponent's making. So some Herdmen, some raiding cavalry here would not go astray. An extra Great Hall would not go astray here either. Nonetheless, I'm just going to be retreating back. Matrius has got one thing on his mind and one thing only, and that's to go for this gold mine. Now, gold starving or not gold starving, forcing a fight here is of utter importance. Then you can start playing the game. If you win the fight, if you lose the fight, doesn't matter. You need to make a trade on that gold mine. If you don't make the trade on the gold mine, then the Norse player is going to hit Heroic Age. Flaming Weapons is going to put all the advantage over onto the Norse side. So you have to, at the very least, make a trade here on that gold mine. Now, another option here for Socrates is just drop that Dwarven mine here. Obviously, he's going to be doing that before he moves out. Amatrius, he's feeling a little bit like, it's time to go. Let's have a fight. I want to play. We've been messing around for too long. Do we see any more Minotaurs? There's another Minotaur coming in. As the dwarves need to pull off of this wood line. Going to be completely fine here as they just charge through. They're so fast at 4.6 speed. But the village is going to pull back. They can move up onto a wood line over here or onto straggler trees over here or get a whole bunch of gold in. I actually don't think that Socrates needs any wood income at the moment. He just needs food income. Obviously, a little bit of wood for the houses wouldn't go astray, but definitely doesn't need any much wood income at the moment. And we see him at the bottom here, wood, because there's nothing to spend, right? It's just houses and all the other good stuff as the army's going to swing around onto this side. Dwarves about to finish up on this gold mine in the main base for Matrius. He's still got 1,000 gold left, so no sort of counterattacks are going to be available. The army, this is actually looking pretty scary for Matrius, this army. He's got a great counter to the Hippias. He's got a great counter to the Minotaur. The thing that he's missing here is 5 to 6 raiding cavalry just to deal with those Toxotes. Before the mass gets too big, 5 to 6 here is going to be completely fine. We are seeing the attack coming through here. It's a big amount of units for our Thor player, Socrates here. However, his armory upgrades, he's getting himself that Dwarven breastplate as well to boost the Berserks up. And the Herdmen, I believe they get a boost there as well, up to 53%. That's not bad. We've got some Berserks coming through as well as the Troll. Still not going for the the raiding cavalry here. Doesn't mean he's got no raiding potential. And there's something even more scary coming for him, which is going to be a heroic age from Matthews. Matthews has stopped pumping units out, and he's like, all right, let's go heroic age. Let's get ourselves Aphrodite. Now, if Socrates reads this, or Matthews makes a bit of a mistake and pushes right now before his curse comes in, he should be able to have flaming weapons available. Not for the fight on the gold mine, but for his 165 population army. He just needs to get himself 500 gold out here, get himself the food in and offer these berries in the main base, and just go next age. He's going to try and push out at the moment. Just have his upgrades. He doesn't even have medium upgrades. It's coming through, but the army just waiting back onto this position. He's got 15 Herser. You got to think that's enough, but I don't know. There's so many Minotaurs. 6 Minotaurs here is a big deal. As the villagers coming forward. Aphrodite is almost halfway completed. More berserks are getting trained. And surely Socrates has got to be sniffing something out. We do see a little bit of damage coming in on to the front here. Lots and lots of favor in the bank as the army's just going to retreat back. And you do have to remember, Aphrodite means what? It means a boost to the HP and the damage on those Minotaurs. So they get stronger. And without having Bragi here for Socrates, that means his Herser, they're not going to be that strong as well. So he has to get heroic age to then kind of keep himself equal, so to speak, as the army spots this. And will Socrates have the food income? It looks like he doesn't. I'm not seeing him. He's getting close. He wants to get there. We see a marker coming up on this position. Lots and lots of gold there. The villagers are going to have to retreat back. There's the Aphrodite. The villagers retreating away. Upgrades. Lots and lots of units queued up now for Socrates. He's like, well, do I have another option here? I think he does. I think he can just retreat back into his main base, pull everything back in here, and just force Matthews to fight himself, fight Socrates underneath the town center here. The dwarves and stuff can move up elsewhere. We just see cheeky little Toxote over there catching things out as the Toxote going to be running full. Got to be careful here. The trolls are in to deal with that as a Nemean Lion checking out onto this position here. What's next, though, for Matthews? He's not pushing anywhere. Bragi is going to be coming through. And with Bragi, if he's got the time, he can get that Hall of Valhalla tech as well to get himself a bunch of those berserks to become very, very strong. Toxote is going to be taking some damage onto, or doing some damage onto the wooden walls over here, breaking in onto this gold mine. The villagers might be able to sneak around onto this gold mine as he pulls back over here. Let's see if that's what he's going to go for. Seems like he could just sneak through onto this gold as well if he wants to, but it looks like playing it safe. There's no need to make a big risk here when he knows he's going to win the army in the next, well, he's going to win this next fight, most likely, as long as he gets a good engagement. I'd love to see half of these units just run around the back and you just do a big engage. We do see a whole bunch of those Hephaestus coming in, which is going to be the next difficult thing for our Thor player to overcome in this game. As the market gets taken down, that's a big stoppage on everything there. Dwarves in the center. He can drop that Dwarven gold mine. Going to do so as the army now starting to move forward. Upgrades not yet in. A whole bunch of raiding cavalry are starting up. There's the curse as restoration and flaming weapons getting dropped down. Berserk's getting turned back here. Can the flaming weapons be enough here? You have to remember those Herser also got a bit of a boost on this one. More units are coming through. Population is dropping for both players, but in the end, who is going to be left standing as the Ajax goes straight after the cave troll, but it does end up getting sniped down. The Nemean Lion going down on this position as well. The Toxote being the ones remaining. A troll on the back here going to be a big help. More raiding cavalry starting to charge forward. Matreus's army looks like it's been deleted here, as the Minotaur over here is also going to go down. But this right now is just equality. This is just equality. Socrates, he's gotten past the curse. He's gotten past the restoration. His flaming weapons is gone. Army's going to retreat back. He's gotten another billion favor in the bank to cast his next Dwarven Mine if he so chooses. But the market comes up. Maybe buying food, maybe something else. He's going to have to find his way onto some resources here. Not moving his dwarves forward at the moment. Do see a hill fort getting dropped down onto this gold mine here to help defend. As now Hoplites, Peltas, Toxotes, Hephaestus, all infantry, all archers, all the way from now on for Matreus will give some movement speed of ability over to Socrates. He's going to start moving across the map looking for something to do. He does get those pigs as well. For those of you who don't know, those pigs actually spawn with a decent amount of food there, so you can eat them straight away if you really want to. Raiding Cavalry spotting a little bit of a gold mine, not a gold mine, but a food source over here. I'm going to try and get some damage done. Toxotes coming over as a response. These are unupgraded Raiding Cavalry. They will go down very quickly to the Toxotes, so he's going to have to retreat away. Takes a little bit damage on the way because that's, what is it called? Ballistics in for the Toxotes as Peltas gets sniped down. The army going to be charging forward. We've got that medium cavalry queued up. The army decides to take the fight here. Battle Ball coming in. There is only one hero in this fight, but there's just so many Toxotes. What is Socrates thinking in this one? He must be thinking the trolls are going to be enough for the moment, but we've got an Achilles in. We've got the Ajax in. Trolls are going to get taken down. Big smack onto those units onto the back there, but the population is staying steady for the moment here for Matrius. As the cave troll goes down, unit's going to be retreating back home. And that there was a bit of a mistake from Socrates. He had no reason to start moving out onto the map. Probably could have gone for a town center, especially with that next Dwarven gold mine getting clicked down. No real weaknesses. Get his farm set up, get himself sorted at the moment. But didn't go for it. He's got his villagers back over onto the berries, back onto the pigs. Army now checking out onto this gold mine, but Matrius, he's now finding himself an advantage. And he's going to grab himself a fortress, potentially a town center. I think the best idea here for Matrius is just Artemis now. He wins that fight. He's in front by 2,000 resources. Convert that into the Mythic Age, and you're going to be completely fine. There's no real way for Socrates to catch up here. There's going to be access to another restoration for the low HP units if a fight happens in the meantime. And yeah, that makes the most sense. Grabbing a town center is safe, but it's not game winning, so to speak, and it might not be enough to actually hold on once the Thor player gets going, in all honesty. Because honestly, when the Norse player gets going, he gets going. So that's important. But we do see a town center coming down nonetheless for Matrius. He might be able to get the town center and go next age, which looks like is exactly what's going to happen. But that will give the 2-minute timing over to Socrates. Because, yeah, he's in front by 2k resources, but he waited a long time. He spent 700 on the town center. He spent 2k on the upgrade. He spent 600 on the fortress. So there's quite a bit of sync there, in all honesty, as the unit's now checking out what is the best idea now for Socrates to try and get some sort of equality in this game. Sniping units is going to be great, but getting villager kills here is going to be absolutely key as the army charges forward here. The archers simply just going to dive into that fortress, retreating back out the other end. The throwing action have themselves burning pitch. There's no burning pitch on them, so they're not taking out the fortress very easily. Restoration, there we were talking about that one being a bit of an issue for Socrates, making a big push here. Can Matrius hold is the big question. It's actually looking like the army from Socrates is doing a lot of work here as the raiding cavalry coming around onto the back. Those trolls are still doing a lot of damage as the Ajax and Chiron going to be able to deal with them, but population for Socrates has fallen here. This timing onto this position has not worked out for him, and now Matrius is not only going to have Earthquake, Chimera, and everything else, but there's going to be a bunch of military units to boot, and in that position, Socrates does have to tap out. This game here was really, really interesting. I think Matrius' play to go into the Minotaurs makes the most sense here, but Socrates countered it really, really well. I do think that if he'd went for Freya here, it would be much, much better, and he would have been able to continue much harder into this game. That speed didn't really matter for the Hersa in the slightest, in my opinion, in that fight. Sesrumnir would have mattered, plus also Thundering Hooves would have really helped once transitioning into these cavalry. Those trolls as well, honestly, I don't think that they're that useful. I think Valkyrie would have been a much, much nicer addition to the army. And maybe Socrates would have been able to find an answer here, but Matrius playing very nicely in this one, gets some really great trades, really great decision-making. I think he did open up for a bit of a weakness by grabbing this town center. I think if Socrates had recognized that and just went for villagers here, spreading the army nice and thin from Matrius, he'd get a lot of villager kills at the moment. This gold mine's open. This food source is open. This gold mine's open. Over here is not open because of the fortress, but it's technically open on the back for a little bit of a raid. And the main base is open on that wood line over there. So basically all of the economy of Maltrius is easily raidable at the moment, which would, even after an earthquake hits you, slow down Maltrius's push enough that you could probably get yourself fully upgraded units in the heroic age and defend, and then try and push back with Fimble Winter or something like that. But there's too many mistakes here from Socrates. He played it nicely, but just not nice enough in the end of the day. Well played by Maltrius. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game. Alrighty, here is my current build order for Thor. Whether it's good or not, I don't really know. But this is what we're going to be locking in. So the most important thing is to find the place you want to go onto the gold there. So we'll go onto the front there first. And we'll drop an armory over here. And then we'll just see if we can't not scout the center. And that'll give us some goats, hopefully. So we're going to go up to 6 onto gold. That's our starting point. And then following that, we get ourselves an upgrade out of the armory. So that's 5. I put a little control group onto these guys because I'm going to do a little trick to make sure I can get my upgrade out straight away. There we go. And the dwarf comes out. We're onto the wood. So I just drop it just before he comes out. And then we're good to go. Now we also need to make sure we don't run too far because we have to build a house. But I'm hoping to find some goats around the center of the map here. Okay, we'll start making our way back. That's enough. Not a huge rush on the house, but do have to get it up. Next villager is just gonna start going on to hunt. Actually, it doesn't really matter when he comes on to hunt because we're gonna be taking all of these villages off of wood anyways to get onto food so we can get a nice advance time. I have a feeling I forgot to get that. It's fine. Alright, you're wanting to run back here. You just come over here. We've only got a little bit more wood to go to get ourselves our temple. Just do a quick loop around. Come back to drop our temple. Okay, everyone onto this. Temple up. Nice. Why is that dwarf all the way over there? I do not know. We're going to start getting ourselves to the next age ship. We're also going to be moving these dwarves over onto this wood line once we hit this last dwarf. Now seems good enough time as any. Okay. That was messy, but we did it. You can see you can do it, but it's just, well, I mean, my version is messy. I'm sure there's probably like a very simple way to do it, right? Let's drag this over.
Já, samþykkt.
Bast, okay.
Satt.
Ég satt. Samþykkt. Já, satt. Samþykkt. Ég samþykkt. Ég vil.
Já, ég veiði maður.
Já, ég vil.
Já, ég samþykkt. Ég samþykkt.
So get some scouting done. See what the hell is going on.
Já, samþykkt. Ég vil. Satt.
Tilbúin. Satt.
Já, atrás. Ég vil. Já, til orrustuslag.
Ég satt.
Fyrir það.
Já, ég satt. Ég vil. Satt. Ég vil. Til skipas. Satt. Ég samt.
It's a lot of monuments there.
Ég vil. Samþykkt. Tilbúin.
Ég vil. Já, satt. Ég vil. Já, satt.
Já, ég vil.
Tilbúin. Ég satt. Já, hver er það? Já, ég samþykkt. Já.
Hver er þar? Skip satt veiðir, ég veiði maður.
Skip, ég satt. Samþykkt. Tilbúin.
Hver er það? Satt. Já. Ég vil.
Skipan. Ég, já.
Tilbúin.
Skipan. Satt. Ég vil.
Já, tilbúin.
Hver er þar? Já.
Tilbúin. Já. Já, já, veiði maður.
Tilbúin. Satt.
Skipan.
Ég vil. Já, satt. Ég samþykkt.
Hver er grjótsveit?
Já.
Tilbúin.
Ég samþykkt.
Já.
Til ég vil. Já. Já, satt. Hver samþykkt? Atrás. Ég satt. Já. Já, ég vil. Hver er samþykkt?
Tilbúin.
One town center.
Til satt. Já. Hver er þar? Satt. Já, samþykkt. Hver er ég tilbúin? Satt. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Já. Hver satt? Atrás. Já. Til orð. Ég satt. Hver er það? Ég satt. Ég tilbúin. Samþykkt. Hver? Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Skip. Ég vil. Já. Hver? Já. Tilbúin. Já. Skipa.
Timbur satt. Já. Ég vil. Satt timbursveit. Já, samþykkt.
Ég vil.
Samþykkt. Timbursveit.
Hver er
Lucky dude.
Til já.
Just wall this off.
Ég vil. Já.
Skipan. Ég satt.
Fyrsta, já, tilbúin, samþykkt. Hver er það? Til satt. Ég samþykkt.
Já, ég vil. Satt.
Já, ég vil.
Tilbúin. Hver er já, satt. Ég vil. Skip, já, satt. Já, samþykkt. Hver er já. Ég samþykkt. Ég vil. Já. Satt. Ég vil. Satt. Hver er
I need to know
já,
what he's
satt.
building, like kind of badly here.
Ég vil. Skip, samþykkt, já.
So back.
Samþykkt. Já, ég skipa, ég satt. Já, ég vil. Til hver er
Já.
þar? Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já,
Til skip. Ég satt. Já, ég vil. Til ég satt.
til skip, já, ég vil. Hver er já, satt, já. Tilbúin, satt. Ég vil. Satt. Hver er það? Til ég, já.
Yeah, I just need to go next stage.
Já,
Til
samþykkt.
skip. Ég samt.
He's still one town center. It might be best for me to honestly.
Skip, hver er það? Satt.
It's a dangerous
Ég
spot.
vil.
It might be best for me to honestly go Scardy, but I'm gonna go flaming weapons.
Tilbúin. Ég vil. Satt samþykkt.
Ég skip hann. Tilbúin.
Skip hann. Ég vil.
Já, ég vil. Til skip, hver er þar?
Ég satt.
Okay.
Til já, já, samþykkt. Ég, já.
I don't know what he's
Já,
building
hver
still.
er
I need to
það?
know.
ég samþykkt, satt, ég satt.
Skipan.
Hver er þar? Satt.
Til skipan, já, tilbúið, samþykkt, já, samþykkt, já, satt, ég vil, já, skipan,
Hver er þar?
já, samþykkt, ég vil,
Skipan. Veiðimaður. Veist. Samþykkt.
fyrir samtil, ég vil, já, tilbúin,
Camel
Satt.
riders.
skipan, samþykkt,
Ég sam. Já. Tilbúin. Satt.
tilbúin, skil, já, ég fyrir, já, fyrir satt,
Ég vil.
skip, já, satt, ég vil, fyrir tilbúin, satt,
Já. Satt. Timbursveit. Hver er þar? Ég vil. Satt.
fyrir
Fjósamaður.
tilbúin, ég satt,
Já.
ég samþykkt, til orðustu
Ég
slag,
vil.
tilbúin, já,
Hver er samt satt? Skipan. Til orðsturslag.
hver satt,
Já. Ég vil.
skip, ég vil, já, satt, ég samt, já,
Til samþykkt. Satt. Satt. Ég vil. Timbursveit.
Já. Samþykkt. Já.
ég fyrst, ég vil, satt,
Samþykkt. Já. Satt.
tilbúin, ég vil,
Hver satt? Ég vil.
fyrir það, já, til satt, ég fyrir til skip, já, tilbúin, ég vil,
Já. Ég vil.
ég fyrir það, já, satt,
Let's get myself to pop here, guys.
Já. Samþykkt.
tilbúin, skip,
Tilbúin. Já. Satt. Ég vil.
fyrir þar, samþykkt, fyrir þar, ég satt, já, til skipan,
Já. Hver er það? Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
já, satt, já, ég vil, fyrir, já, satt, samþykkt,
Hver er það?
Skipan. Satt.
til fyrir það, já, já, samþykkt, skip fyrir, já, satt, já, fyrir samþykkt,
Hann timbursveit.
ég
Fjósamaður.
fyrir það, já, satt, fyrir það, já, fyrir það, ég samþykkt, fyrir þar,
Tilbúin. Satt. Timbursveit. Hver er því? Samþykkt. Já.
til
Timbursveit.
skip, samþykkt, já, fyrir ég vil, til, já, satt, til orðustu slag, skipa, já, skipa, satt, til, ég vil, skipa, já, aðráð, skipa, já, fyrir það, já, satt, fyrir það, já, ég satt, já,
That was a good defense.
tilbúin, skipa, satt,
Hver er það? Tilbúin. Ég samt. Satt. Ég vil.
fyrir það, tilbúin,
Skipan. Samþykkt. Já. Satt.
til, já, skipa, ég vil, já, aðráð, fyrir það, tilbúin, samþykkt,
Tilbúin. Já. Ég
fyrir það, já, tilbúin, skipa, fyrir það, til, ég, já, samþykkt, skipa, já, satt, tilbúin, ég samþykkt, satt, fyrir það, já, satt, til, ég samþykkt,
Já. Samþykkt.
Já, satt. Ég samþykkt.
til, ég samþykkt, fyrir þar, já, skip, satt, ég
Skipan.
vil,
Satt. Timbursveit.
Já. Timbursveit.
fyrir það, tilbúin, ég, já, satt, já, til, fyrir það, ég satt, tilbúin, já, til, já, samþykkt, ég samþykkt,
Man, I'm like so done with fucking chariot archers already, man. It's like I'm playing against Duranos, but it's the unit does damage.
já, satt,
Tilbúin. Já.
Jeepers creepers. I need to get like fortresses or something and make I don't even know what.
Skip. Ég tilbúin. Samþykkt. Skip. Ég samþykkt. Já. Skipan. Já.
Tilbúið satt.
Tilbúin. Ég vil.
Hver er þar? Samþykkt.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Satt.
skipa, Já. Já. Satt. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Já. Skipan. Já.
Skip. Ég vil.
Skipan.
Til skipan.
Tilbúin.
Hver það? Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin.
Skipan. Ég samþykkt. Já.
Hver já? Ég á. Samþykkt já. Satt.
Já. Tilbúin. Satt.
Já. Tilbúin.
Já. Ég satt.
Hver
Til fyrir það. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Samþykkt.
Tilbúin. Satt. Timbursveit.
Fyrir ég samþykkt. Já. Já. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já. Satt.
Já. Skipan.
Tilbúin. Ég har satt.
Tilbúin. Já.
Ok.
Fyrir til já. Til fyrir já. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Já.
Skip já. Satt.
Tilbúin. Já. Skipan. Til skip. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Satt.
Hver það? Grjótsveit.
Já. Ég vil. Já. Ég satt. Ég já. Já. Tilbúin. Til orustuslag. Skipan.
Skipa. Ráð. Tilbúin.
Já.
Skip.
Fyrir það. Já.
Já. Samþykkt. Til að ráð.
Til ég satt. Ég vil.
Samþykkt. Til ég sækið fram. Skipan. Til orustuslag.
Til aðrá. Tilbúin. Til já. Til já. Já. Fyrir það. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Já. Já. Fyrir satt. Samþykkt. Já. Til satt.
Til ég samþykkt. Skip. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Ég vil. Ég
Já.
vil.
Satt. Til ég. Já.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Satt. Samþykkt. Skip.
Já. Til satt. Já. Fyrir ég. Já.
Já. Já.
Til ég. Samt ég. Já.
Tilbúin.
Fyrir ég. Satt. Já.
Já. Ég vil.
Fyrir það.
Tilbúin.
Já. Til aðrá.
Já. Ég vil.
Já. Aðrá. Já.
Ég vil.
Til já. Til já. Fyrir það. Já. Fyrir það. Já. Til aðrá.
Já.
Skipan.
Tilbúin. Til já. Satt.
Tilbúin.
Fyrir það.
Skipan.
Fyrir það. Til já. Skip. Til já.
Já. Já.
Já. Já. Til já. Til aðrá.
Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin. Já. Já.
Já.
Tilbúin. Já.
Fyrir já. Til aðrá. Já. Tilbúin. Skip. Satt. Já. Fyrir satt. Til ég.
Tilbúin.
Satt. Já. Ég. Já.
Skip.
Satt.
Tilbúin.
Tilbúin.
Skip.
Já.
Satt. Hver það? Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Samt ég vil. Já. Til satt. Til já. Ég. Fyrir það. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt. Til ég. Já. Samt til já. Satt. Fyrir já. Fyrir ég vil.
Samþykkt.
Já. Já.
Samþykkt. Sækið fram. Sækið tilbúin. Fram. Sækið. Já. Til orustuslag. Já.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Satt.
Tilbúin.
Skip. Tilbúin. Já. 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 Sækið tilbúin. Fram.
Ég tilbúin.
Skip. Já. Já.
Skipan. Aðrá. Já. 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 Ég samþykkt. Já. Ég. Já. Já. Ég vil. Til orustuslag.
Skip. Já.
Já. Ég samþykkt.
Skip. Fyrir það. Samþykkt.
Skip. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Sækið fram.
Skip. Já. Fyrir það. Til skip. Ég satt. Jeg vil. Já. Fyrir samþykkt. Satt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Jeg vil.
What am I supposed to do?
Skip. Já. Ég vil.
Fyrst. Já. Satt. Samt. Já.
Já. Samþykkt.
Fyrir. Já. Samþykkt.
Tilbúin. Satt. Samþykkt. Já. Ég á. Samþykkt. Já. Satt.
Til skip. Já.
Skip.
Til já.
Til já.
Jeg vil. Já. Já.
Skipan. Ég samþykkt. Tilbúin. Ég samþykkt. Já.
Já.
Skipan. Ja, samþykkt. Já. Ég vil. Tilbúin. Já.
Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já. Tilbúin.
Já. Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Ég vil.
Hver þar?
Skýr á. Grjótsveinn. Grjótsveinn.
Tilbúin. Hver ég satt? Hver já,
Hvar
satt.
þar? Tilbúin. Timbri.
Skipa
Grjótsveinn.
samþykkt. Ég vil. Grjótsveit.
Tilbúin. Hver já, já.
Hvar það? Satt.
Til
Samþykkt.
skipa.
Tilbúin. Já, ég á. Satt. Búkar.
Skipa. Tilbúin.
Skipan. Tilbúin.
Skipa. Já. Ég já, ég vil skip já, satt. Já, samþykkt.
Skipan. Ég vil. Satt. Tilbúin.
Hver satt. Ég vil, já.
Skipan.
Ég vil. Samþykkt. Já, samþykkt.
Já.
Já, ég
Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Til orustuslag.
Já. Til orustu slag. Já.
Tilbúin.
Til orustu slag.
Ráð.
Já, samþykkt. Já. Ég grjótsveinn.
Tilbúin. Ég
Já.
satt.
Tilbúin. Skipan. Já. Tilbúin. Skipan. Já. Mætið. Tilbúin. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Ég samþykkt. Til orustuslag. Já. Skipan. Já. Ég samþykkt. Til skip. Já. Skip. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Ég vil. Skipan.
Hvar þar? Samþykkt. Grjótsveinn.
Já. Tilbúin. Skipan. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Skipan. Já.
Samþykkt.
Skipan. Fætið fram.
GG. Let's go. Oh, best Thor player, OCE. Only Thor player, OCE. We got through the chariot archers. Only player OCE, that's true. That's true. No, OC, my OCE friends, get out here. Show me. You see, you have to go forest fire. You got to go Freya. Freya wins everything. I've been hearing people telling me that Sphinx are OP against Norse. I was believing them until I did this. And now I go, in what way is Sphinx OP? Like, at what point is he supposed to come and kill me? If he goes for Axeman, right, in this situation, then I just get watchtowers and I sit in my base and I go, when are you going to get me? I'm just going to sit here forever on Dwarven Armory. That's so crazy. And then you just go into mass raiding cavalry and then living the dream. Holy moly. Bobby the Shark, thanks for the game. That was a fun one. GG.